It's Christmas. Finally, it's here. Are you feeling festive?
Feeling really
Looking
good,
forward
yeah.
to the big day?
It's happened.
What?
It was 2 days ago.
Ah, right. That's why everyone got me presents.
Yeah.
I thought it was my birthday. Oh,
No,
God,
your
that's a bit
birthday's not for 2 weeks.
I wonder why everyone's in a mood with me in my house.
I know.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I had a great Christmas.
All right.
Football aside, I did, yeah. One of the best ones, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
No one fell out.
Yeah?
No arguing.
Right, okay.
The meal was an absolute classic. Dad just knocked it out of the park.
So, did you have are you one of them traditional Christmas meals? You're not like one who goes for a curry?
No.
Or a nut roast? Do you know what I mean?
I think Lizzie had a nut roast.
Right, well,
That's not a euphemism either, by the way. She's a vegetarian.
I didn't, for 1 second,
It was
think
actually,
it was.
This only sounds worse, but it was technically a nut Wellington.
Nut Wellington? What's a nut Wellington?
It's nuts wrapped in pastry.
So, is that what a beef Wellington is?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Well, there's like a little mushroom kind of thing going on as well, but essentially
Really?
it's a beef wrapped in a pastry.
All right, so she had a nut Wellington.
Yeah.
You had your traditional...
Your turkey and
Yeah.
trimmings. Full turkey in the house for the first time in quite a number of years.
What do you mean full turkey?
We're often would just buy, the crown?
Yeah,
Which is
what's
just
the crown?
basically the sort of the breastage.
Yeah.
But we had the full beast.
Why do you usually not have the legs in that?
Because there's not always that many of us. And also, I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because the crown is good for sandwiches. Because it's a single piece you can just slice. You're not having to worry about carving it off the bone and all that.
Ah, right, okay.
So you can just get it and just get it down you.
That's good. Can I let you into a little secret? I had 2 Christmas dinners.
At once?
No. I almost said simultaneously, but that's not right.
That is at once.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what I was trying to say.
What, back to back?
Sort of. One on the 23rd and one on Christmas Day. Because her mum was going up, they moved her mum and dad to Wales. So they did a Christmas dinner early on the 23rd.
Yeah.
In her old tea room.
Did they not have Christmas in Wales?
Yeah, but not with us. We're not going to go to Wales on Christmas Day. Come on, that's insane. It's a different country. I don't even know.
It's
about 45
minutes
I don't know what
away.
I'm doing with my passport for starters. So we did one on the 23rd, we have Christmas dinner, and then we had my lot had Christmas dinner, me, my missus and the kids on Christmas Day.
Talk me through that then. Christmas Day.
Yes.
What time are you waking up? Who's making the dinner?
Right.
All that.
We were mega organised this year. Usually, Christmas Eve is me and my better half wrapping presents till 4, 5 a.m.
You joking?
Panicking. Yeah, it's horrible because the kids are too giddy. They won't go to sleep early, even though they're meant to. So you have to wait until they're fully asleep because obviously you've got to do Santa's job for him as well. You've got to help him. And you can't have them waking up in the middle of the night and seeing you wrapping presents in the front room, like, what's all this?
Yeah.
So we usually up till after clock, and then you go to bed at 4:30, and then they get up at 6. It's just horrible, and then you spend all day absolutely goosed. But this time round, we were dead organised, so waited till they got to sleep. They were asleep for quite early, actually, about 9:30, 10, because they'd had a busy Christmas Eve, and then we put all the presents downstairs.
Because they'd had a beer.
They had a beer. We just give them beer.
They'd had a beer.
I don't have beer, so we just give it them.
They were off early.
Yeah, they'd had a few tequilas. And then, so that was all sorted. Kids weren't up at that ludicrous time. They're up about 7.
That's not bad.
Well, that's not too bad. I'm telling lies, because the year before, I think they got up a bit later because they'd been up quite late. But yeah, up at 7, did the prezzies and all that. And then her mum had made Christmas dinner for us, but in it was in sort of, not Tupperware, but in foil things that you just put in the oven and just cook it for an hour.
What?
Yeah, she'd done all these different
this 23rd meal?
Yeah, we had the 23rd meal, and then she'd made another one.
Separately?
Yeah, that was because she has a tea room and that, and she cooks all stuff. And she'd made it where it was in tinfoil things where you just put it in the oven, so there was this is where the turkey, this is the stuffing and all that. It was loads of different things that she'd made.
All pre-cooked?
Yeah, I've only just had to eat it up, I think.
That's a piece of piss, isn't it?
Yeah, it still took an hour and a half because there's loads of it.
Yeah, but that's not bad.
It was good, man.
My dad was up at 7 a.m.
Really?
Potatoes, yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's probably part because how many was around your house then? Or around
Nine.
mum and dad's?
9
so, is that you?
Five of us.
Who's the 5 of you?
Oh, no, not 9.
What are you about?
Me, my mum and dad,
right.
my 2 sisters.
Oh, right,
5.
Yeah. Okay.
But then I got the numbers wrong because then us 3 have all got partners.
Right, that's okay. That's good then, isn't it?
Which takes us up to 8.
Yeah.
And then 3 kids, which takes us up to 11.
Ah, right. That's,
So there's 11
quite hefty, that then.
Dinner, yeah.
11?
So that's why dad took on the full bird.
Right.
Dad, we were handling that bird like nobody's business.
Really?
Yeah.
And this bird had legs this time.
And the rest.
Yeah.
Not to mention the
breast.
Isn't it weird, when you think of a turkey or a chicken in the packaging?
Yeah.
It's laid on its back. Ugh. That's weird, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because the tits are in the air.
Yeah, I don't think of that.
You think it's like curled up with its knees tucked up to its chest, but actually it's laid like that.
Are you one of them? Do you get on the Bucks Fizz? Yeah, I never thought about the way the chicken or the turkey was laid. Do you get on the beer in that early doors?
We were on the Bucks Fizz nice and early on.
I can imagine
it was the poshest Bucks Fizz I ever had.
Really?
Because it was leftover champagne from my sister's wedding.
Actual champagne?
So
it's not even Prosecco?
Never even had it like this before.
Wow, and you are rich.
She went to a local farm shop for the orange juice, Jay.
When did you become part of the gentry?
I know.
What is going on here with your full bird and your champagne and orange juice from the local farm?
Me, Mum, Dad,
Lord Byron.
All of the Rees-Moggs were there. They came round with their long suits on. They were all there. It was just us lot. It was gorgeous. No, I don't know why we got such expensive orange juice and obviously just left over from the wedding, but even so, still.
That's decent.
The best Bucks Fizz I've ever had.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Because we had a bottle of Bucks Fizz. Mrs. has a Bucks Fizz, but then on the day, Christmas Eve, we said, she's like, we'll get another one, and we couldn't find anywhere. It was selling, it all sold out. Then we realised, we'll just get orange juice, and we didn't get champagne, no.
What did you get? Schlur? Lemonade?
Just, yeah.
What do you have?
No, we got Prosecco and orange juice, which is like...
that's pretty good.
Eccles.
That's just standard.
Eccles Bucks Fizz.
But Bucks Fizz normally is in that pre-made bottle.
That's it. She had one of them. So she had one of them.
Yeah,
and then
that's what we normally have.
We had... she said, we might get another one just in case. And then we couldn't find anywhere, so we ended up just getting a bottle of Prosecco. And
it's funny, isn't it, Bucks Fizz?
Yeah.
No one drinks it any other time of year except
that,
Christmas morning.
It's like Sprouts. No one has Sprouts other than Christmas, do they?
No.
It's weird, I didn't even have that.
Or a full turkey.
Yeah.
If you were at someone's house in June and they just got a full turkey in the oven that's like the size of a fucking Doberman, these massive turkeys.
Don't we usually have it though in October for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we will do. Yeah, I suppose we will do. But we don't usually go for the full beastie.
Do you not?
No.
Is that just a scran? There's no prezzies or anything on
Thanksgiving, no. It's just a big meal.
Is that
everyone comes round.
All right, okay. Yeah. It feels a bit...
Pumpkin pie. My mum made pumpkin pie.
Oh, did she?
There's a few American things in the Christmas dinner.
Right,
so tell me what you think of these. Right?
Go on.
Let me know in the comments as well whether this is grotesque. Pumpkin pie, obviously, for dessert. Fine.
I've never had it, so I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the Christmas dinner, you have what is basically applesauce.
Yeah, I love that.
Fine, so far so
Perfect,
good. Yeah. With sliced sweet potatoes on it.
What sweet potatoes?
A sweet potato.
Which is what?
Huh? What? What?
When you say a sweet potato, what is that? What is that like? I know, I get the concept of sweet and potato.
Have you never had sweet potato fries?
I don't know.
Do you know where they're orange?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Have I?
You probably have.
Yeah, have we had them together?
Probably.
Right, okay.
So it's
I think I know what you mean.
A sweet potato is its own vegetable.
Right.
That's it looks like a potato.
I think I have.
But it's slightly pointed at the end and it's orange.
I think I know what you mean. Big shout out to Bill O'Reilly who's just gifted a Stretford Paddock membership. Hit that like button as well, please, people.
It's like a long tater that's orange and sweet.
Right, I think I have had that. It's ringing a bell.
You probably have had it.
Yeah.
Because sweet potato fries have been knocking about.
Sweet potato fries sounds
in
like...
your mainstream for at least 10 years.
Orange fries. Yeah, I've had them.
Yeah.
Right.
And...
so you had slices of sweet potato?
So sweet potato with cinnamon and sugar. And
on the sweet potato?
On the sweet potato, mixed in with the applesauce. And then on top of that is a layer of marshmallows and the whole thing goes in the oven.
Sure, really?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Does that sound awful? You have that with the gravy and everything.
Gravy or marshmallow?
Well, not on it, but it's on the plate with the gravy, yeah.
See, that's why the Americans know how to eat, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you know what I love when you go to American, you have a full English or whatever, and there's a pancake and syrup and ice cream in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's that's insane. And if you did that in England, people would think you'd gone mad.
Yeah.
If you went, can I have some pancakes and full English and just went, right, there you go, and can I have some ice cream, put that in, and some syrup, everyone would be looking at you going, he's flips. Yeah. He's gone around the bend, but in America it's normal.
You can do what you want there.
Yeah. I love all that. That sounds great. I love cinnamon, sugar, gravy. Perfect. Yeah. What more do you want?
And then we also have something called Jello salad.
Right, which is just salad with Jello.
I might lose the dressing room here.
Right.
It's jelly.
You are it tonight, go on.
Jelly with cream cheese stirred into it.
Oh no, you've lost me straight away. Cream cheese and jelly, that's fucking minging.
With dried fruit and nuts in it and slices of orange. And that's on the plate with gravy on it.
Is this the lecky's gone off, and the fridge is going to be to see everything.
Stir everything together.
Just get it on the plate, quick.
Do it.
We can't mix that. Just shut up. Put the cheese in with the Jello. Don't worry about that, son. It's going to go off. Waste not, want not.
When you put it like that, it does sound nightmarish.
I was mega impressed with the marshmallow and the gravy. I thought that is elite. But when you started going cheese and jelly in a salad, that's just the rantings of a madman. That's like, why is Grandad eating his own slippers? That's why he's lost it. What's he doing?
It took me about 27 years to start liking that as well. That's only last 3 or 4 years where I can really get behind the Jello salad.
You know, when someone says like, oh, what's this show? It's really good. It gets going in the second series. You think, fuck that. Eat this food. You'll like it after 2.5 decades. Yeah, you'll warm to it.
You'll get there eventually.
No, I mean, there's enough going on there though. There's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you had all this and your missus is just on the old nut roast. That's class. That.
Yeah, she can't get her head around Jello salad yet. It takes
Jello salad does feel a bit of a push.
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, I love that. If I were at your house on Christmas dinner when you invite me one day, I'd give it a go and all that, and I'd love it all.
Yeah.
But there's no way we're gonna have I'll be able to sell that in our house.
Bring it back to yours.
It won't work. If I say like, let's have marshmallows and gravy and cinnamon, I won't even get a response.
No.
I won't.
No.
It'll be one of them. You know, like you say, so I say something in the house all the time. The kids and the missus just ignore me.
Yeah.
It'll be one of them. I think we should have some marshmallow and gravy, and they just ignore me and just carry on doing what they're doing. Yeah. I don't think that'll work. But that sounds nice, man.
Yeah, it was
so,
good.
Did you do, when you get up, because how old are the kids that are involved in all this?
Somewhere in the region of like 3.
It's not like me.
3,
Only kids
5,
in the region of
8.
Primary school. 3, 5, not far off my lot.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like a notch younger.
That's all right. 3, 5, and 8. Because it's a similar-ish age.
Yeah,
they can occupy themselves. So is it up in? Did you all stay over?
They didn't get
come round?
They didn't get there till 12. So the morning was really nice, just chilled. Me, my mum, dad, and Lizzie.
Did you open presents straight away?
We opened our presents to each other, Lizzie and I.
Right. What about your mum and dad and that?
No, well, they waited because we do a Secret Santa in our house. So you don't buy everyone a present, you just buy your Secret Santa a present.
Oh, really?
And then
what's the budget?
40 quid.
Really?
So we just keep it nice and low key. We spend all the money on fucking orange juice. That's why we spend 40 quid.
When you're swinging champagne and farm fucking produced orange.
Well, my mum and dad will get us something extra as well because it's like mum and dad and that. But like, I bought my sister, I just bought her a slow cooker.
That's good though.
That was it. So, but that's it.
Right.
So no one gets.
Did you not have to get your nieces something?
Yeah, we got them something.
Right. Okay.
But I got my mum and dad I got my dad a couple of tins of beer, and we got my mum like a little tote bag. That was it.
Right.
Because
okay.
They weren't our Secret Santas.
But you got to get them something.
Yeah, you got to get them something.
Do you know what though? You've done all right there though.
Because you're spending hundreds.
Yeah, and you're quite lucky because 3, 5, and 8 for kids as a uncle is all right. It's not like they're not expecting a PlayStation 5.
No, we just got them some like. What was it? Minecraft Lego and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think kids as well. They have this thing, especially at that age. My lot, we learned the hard way. Like my lot, they just love opening presents, and they don't even like barely stop to acknowledge what they've just opened. It's like, oh yeah, move on to the next one. And it's like now they've got a bit older, they're a bit more like, I want this, I want that. So they all got.
They'd be happy with like one big gift.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're 3, they'd rather 10 shit things than one good thing.
Me and Mrs. used to go to Smith's in West One in Salford. And
the toy shop?
Yeah, and just, you'd spend like, not that much. Like, I'm not, each to their own, but you spend like 150 quid on like loads of just tat that's probably fucking binned by March.
It's like United's transfer policy.
100% well said.
Spend loads of money.
January transfer policy, just getting a load of shit. Well, not even just any transfer window with us. Get a load of shit in, and then you don't really want it. It looks good when for the photos or whatever when you're opening
it. The unveiling. Like.
Oh yeah, lovely. Look at this, great. Can't wait to get me stuck into this, see what this is all about, and then you've lost interest before it's even got going. Yeah. So we used to do that. Now they all one wanted a bike, one wanted a telly, one wanted a VR headset.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Has the VR headset happened?
Yeah.
Have you had a go?
I'm not into any like that.
We not even give it a go?
Something was wrong with it, and he came down asking me about it last night, and that was the only time I've had a go at it. Like, that's it. But I just feel like a bit of a knob. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know like doing all that with a thing on. I just feel a bit self-conscious. I know I'm in my own house and it's fine. Well, I don't know if it's fine with my lot. They're probably taking photos and doing things behind my back.
Upload them to the internet.
Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's a bit on me.
The thing I worry with the ultimate, I've sort of given it off away. The thing I worry with the VR headset about getting one is, I kind of worry it could unlock the ultimate wanking experience, and that I could never go back.
What is the ultimate wanking experience?
Well, 360 degrees is a start, isn't it? And it might not. It might be weird. It might be too much. But there's a possibility it takes things to such a whole new level that I can't. That's it for me now. I have to. You know what I mean? I have to have one on when I'm, with Lizzie, let alone by myself.
So there's no way on God's green earth though with a VR headset you can have a wank.
Why not?
Would you not be worried about who's walking in? I'd be paranoid like that someone had opened the blinds and like the fucking milkman's just stood there looking through the window. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't see what's going on, can you?
You're just there plugged in.
Do you know what I mean?
No, but you do it in the toilet or something.
All right, so you take the VR headset into the toilet and then fill your boots.
Or something. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Because if that happens, then what do? You can't put the genie back in the bottle, can you? Once you found that out.
But can you even get porn on there?
Dunno.
Can you?
Not sure.
Can you find out?
Of course you can.
Really?
Anything you can dream of, Jay. It's all possible.
It's not like. Is it proper? Though, like, is it like video quality, like 4K? Is it not like The Sims or whatever? Do you know what I mean? Like, not real
digital.
people. Yeah.
No,
like,
I think it's real. I think it's genuine. I think because they can film in 3D now.
Right. I don't know.
So it's like you're in it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's mad in it how technology's moved forward when it comes to pornography.
Well, that's been the leader in a lot of digital technology. You know that, don't you?
Really?
HD streaming was invented for porn.
Really?
Yeah. Streaming technology generally. YouTube wouldn't exist if it weren't for pornography.
Seriously?
Because the reason online digital streaming happened was to allow people to get pornography.
That's
online.
mad. That
Yeah.
when I was a kid, it was literally like just
Brass
hieroglyphics. Yeah, just risque hieroglyphics. Oh, she's showing a bit of like.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Hieroglyphics came out, don't you?
Yeah, I remember it. We thought it was the devil's work.
Yeah, it was very much a word of mouth at the start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was whisper and rumour, wasn't it? It was myth. You were wanking to myth when you were a kid. All you had was just ideas.
I'm not that old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. But like, obviously, I was when I was a kid before the mobile phone thing.
Oh yeah, actually,
so
genuinely.
I had to hand draw pictures of my dick.
Really?
Deliver them by hand. Yeah, it was just so embarrassing.
It's not ideal, is it?
No, it's not. So the phone came out when I was about 15, 16. But I had pager first.
Yeah, that's not going to do it.
And that don't do anything.
No, unless you're trying to chat up a very busy doctor, who were the only people that really used pages in the 80s.
All my pages were just for dealers. Yeah. That was all it was.
Were you paging dealers?
Of course.
That was Wall Street. That
was all it was. Like, I used to live in that phone box that the Nags had. Like, that was all you do. You
so what's this then? How do you need a phone? I don't know how a pager works.
A pager would be like this, a little thing like that, yeah. So you'd ring the number.
It looked like a kind of like a little cube.
Yeah, like a little cube. I'm trying to think of what you can compare it. I'll tell you what, it wasn't a million miles away from, right? It's like.
Yes, there you go, perfect.
It'd be like that.
Like a little AirPods case.
Yeah, it'd be like that, and you'd either have a screen that would show you a message or a number. So some of them would just be numbers. Like the first ones that came out, it'd show you a number, so you'd ring up the number and you go like, you'd either say a number or whatever, or you dial a number, and then they'd get a page with that number on. Then they'd ring that. They'd go to a phone box, ring that number, which would usually be me at a phone box saying, right, you come and drop someone off.
So you couldn't send text on it?
Some of them you could. I think like then, because obviously I'm old now, so then it was like you could send text. So it'd just say things like, ring J or whatever, or fucking whatever. And then obviously mobile phones came out. Because mobile phones were already out. Mobile phones came out in the 80s, but no one had them.
No.
Like, no one, like, one of the first people I remember was saying this, having a mobile phone, was probably Mitten. Andy Mitten. I used to sell United We Stand, and I remember him having a mobile phone. And I was like,
when would this be, like
30,
late
93,
90s?
93.
Oh, wow.
93
really
when I started. I think I was 30.
And was it one of those big, like, lift the thing up,
well, there used to be, you know what?
Piece?
There used to be this thing as well. Mobile phones when it came out were mental because everyone was finding the feet with them. And I remember there used to be this thing called the rabbit phone, right? Genuinely. And if you go to like an old town centre, I bet they've got them in Worksop, you'll see the rabbit sign somewhere, some places, right? Get involved in the chat in the comments, let me know. Santa Knox says, yup, he's had them, he's right. And you could use the phone where you saw the rabbit sign.
Well, because it meant it had signal?
Yeah, which is insane, because it's like if someone's trying to ring you and you're nowhere near a fucking rabbit sign. I don't even know how that works, but that was the concept of the phone. Like where you saw the rabbit phone, you could use your phone, which I don't get how you receive calls genuinely like without being stood next to
unless you planned it, but then at that point,
yeah, so it was,
anyway?
But it was still better than having, no phone at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was loads of different. I remember like there was a phone where it had a little mouthpiece like that they brought that out and it was shit and everyone was complaining about it because it didn't work. There was ones that were massive. I remember my mate had one that was like fucking huge. It was like, honestly, it was like carrying that around with you. It was fucking
Do you remember that
massive.
when stuff used to not work?
Yeah.
That was a big thing up until about 10 years ago.
It was, wasn't it?
Like, stuff would companies would bring out a new product and you'd spend 500 quid on it or whatever, and it just wouldn't work.
No.
Like the old Xbox when I was a kid, Xbox 360, like 1 in 3 of them within about 2 years would just die. And you get the red ring of death, and that was it. And you didn't get your money back, you didn't get a new Xbox. We used to have to wrap them in a towel and let it overheat so much that the welding melted and re-glued back together and hope that worked. But that was like the biggest games console in the world, and they all just broke all the time. Like, it's only recently where you buy a phone and it's perfect from start to finish the whole time you have it. Like, phones don't really break anymore, do they?
Even cars are bad. I remember my mate had a car and he had to, every time he wanted to start it, he had to open the bonnet, take out, I think it was one of his spark plugs or something, and rub it. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, what's
it was like 2 steps away from, like 1920s films where we have that thing on the clutch. Yeah, that. It was like that. You used to have to do that all the time. Like, cars were like that. You're right, technology was like so hit and miss. And like,
up until like recently, like you'd buy a laptop and that's the one that's just, it just overheats, and if it's plugged in for more than 10 minutes, it sets on fire, and that's just all of those laptops. And you must have taken them off the shelves. No, we still sell them. They just set on fire all the time, and people have to live with the burns.
But it was mad because at the time, like a lot of these things were happening. It was insane. Like when I remember having a NES.
Yeah.
And then then it was the Super Nintendo. Then it was like the Mega Drive came out. I can't remember. There was a version of, I think it was a Master System, the Sega Master System. Then it was a Mega Drive. And then it was the Nintendo 64. Yeah. And every time it took a step up, you're like, oh my God, this is unreal. Do you know what I mean? Now you look at it and you go, it's terrible.
But like the original PlayStation, 1 in 3 times you'd put that disc in, it just wouldn't work. Yeah. And it'd just give you that like floating squares, like it's not worked, you have to take it out, blow on the disc, rub it on your shirt, put it in, press go again, and hope that it worked. Yeah. And you'd just be sat there half the night sometimes, your game just didn't work the whole night.
Do you ever wonder about that, like with technology? Because I think when I was a kid, right, when I was little, we had like one of those Ataris, and I am showing my age now, and it was literally like, you know that thing where it goes along the side?
Pong.
Like that. And it was like baseball, which was like a stick and a fucking ball. Like, it was so basic.
It was
like, honestly, it was proper the Flintstones.
Yeah.
It was like, how is this technically a computer?
Yeah.
Or is it just basically...
Is it just wool?
Yeah.
It's just like everything else in my life.
Like
it's just made of wool.
Yeah. It's just so fucking shit. But, and I remember like, as I got older, as I got to like, I remember we had like the first computer we had was like an actual computer, like a Commodore 64 or whatever. And then you have this step up, and then you have consoles that came out when I was like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever. And then by the time you're sort of 17, 18, it's like, I think that's when you get, when I was a teen, late teens is when the PlayStation was a big thing. But the advancement was amazing. Like mobile phones when I was a kid wasn't a thing. Then everyone has one by the time I'm like 17, 18, I think was by that time, the late 90s, everyone had a phone. But do you ever think like, where we're going next? Because the jump, I think, in the last, what am I, 44, in the last 40 years has been unreal. Yeah. Like we have gone from, in the last 40 years, we've had the invention of like, things like, it's just like mobile phones is a thing, the internet. Yeah. The internet didn't exist in 1980 when I was born. It wasn't a thing. When I was at school, there wasn't an internet. You can say, email me your homework. Like, what the fuck are you on about? No. Email me what? Like,
the internet is so big.
Like, that came about as a thing when I was in my teens. Like, it was probably invented in the late 80s, early 90s, so I would have been 9 or 10. But it became about as something that people used in the late 90s.
Like Windows 95 was where people first were like, a lot of households had Windows 95 in it. Yeah. And I remember like Microsoft and then
Paint.
XP was when it went bang.
Yeah.
2000-ish.
And then it's like, you know, smartphones, fucking, everything's online. Then you've just got other stuff like paying things on your phone. I know it sounds insane, but I remember reading an article once when I was in one of my first jobs. I remember this. A guy who tested himself if he could go a whole year without using cash. And he'd like, this was like late 90s, early 90s. Yeah, and he just fucking crumbled.
He died 3 days
in.
He
just got his head kicked in off the local butcher. Yeah. But do you know what, Matt? Like, to go a whole year without using cash was like, let me see if I can do it. And he wrote an article on it. Because it was like, Whereas, because at the time there were certain places just didn't take card or whatever, fucking Apple Pay wasn't a thing. Whereas now, some places don't even take cash.
No.
It's mad, isn't it? I often think like, what will happen? How long will what will happen during the rest of my lifetime if I'm like halfway through? Well, probably past halfway, but
let's say you're halfway.
Yeah, what's going to happen in the next 44 years, man? It's mad.
Yeah.
Because could you even think of getting your head around it?
Everyone's putting a lot of money on AI, aren't they? But what does that even amount to? What's the end goal for AI? That's the thing I don't get. I don't get what it's gonna be. I don't know what the point in it is really, except just replacing everyone. But I always think this with United's new stadium, not to try and make it too much about football, but
no, sorry. I think
but genuinely with United's new stadium, if it's going to take 10 years to build, or thereabout, maybe between 5 and 10 years, they say, don't they? How advanced will it have to be to not even look a bit dated by the time it opens? Because things get faster and things advance more quickly as time goes on, don't they? There's the principle that sort of computer processing power doubles every 5 years, I think it is. Something in that ballpark. So we're going to have like a vastly different landscape by the time that stadium's finished from when it was started. We just go open some stadium, it's like, it's a bit boring, isn't it?
Do you reckon you could have a scenario where was it that place in America where they had like the stadium recreated in the bar?
Yeah.
Do you know like that? Do you reckon you have it where
that's in LA, isn't it?
You can log on to the stadium.
But genuinely,
like you sat at home,
a good point.
and then you can chant, and it'll come out in the stadium in front of the players, and you're at home.
Well, so here's what genuinely I think United should do or could do.
I know I've not got into the comments, by the way. I will get into some of them. Some great discussions going on. I think a couple of people jumped on and went, "Where's the football chat?" And then everyone put them straight. And now we're having an absolutely amazing conversation. I see people having it about technology and what was happening when they were a kid and all that.
We'll get into some.
So I'll get into some of that. Go on, sorry.
What we genuinely should be doing, if you do want to raise money without charging triple the amount for season tickets, etc. If you said for, I don't know what the number would be, $9.99, you can have your VR headset that you own, that everyone will own in 10 years, let's say they take off, and you can be sat like you're sat in the stadium. Like you've got the view of someone who sits at you can pick your seat, you can sit next to the manager, you can sit wherever you want, you can have all the different camera angles, but primarily you're sat in the stadium watching it like a fan. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. That should happen. That should be easy, and you can get this extra sort of boosted, added on kind of package for that United sell you, or whatever it is. And like you said, when you chant, it comes through the speakers a little bit. Just little things that
that could happen. It could, because I always wonder with football: is there a limit? Is there a part where you go, right? We're always going to have fans in a stadium. Manchester United are always going to have a stadium in Manchester. Will that ever change? Because you can never say never.
No.
Like the idea when it's mad because football does move forward and things change all the time, and things that you think are inconceivable happen. Like I remember when I was a kid, a team having like more than 3 black players seemed unheard of. Like, even a team that had 3 black players, like West Brom, when they came to Old Trafford with 3 black players, the black players were getting booed every time they touched the ball, and that's nothing to be proud of. Obviously, I think that was the late 70s, early 80s. Then I remember when there was a time when you had I think Palace, one of the first teams, had 8 or 9 black players. Then it became there was also foreign players where you had. I remember Sky doing this big thing about. I think Arsenal fielded a team once of just foreign players, and it was like.
It was a huge
sort of stunning moment. Like, I can't believe football's gone that way. Where it was either Arsenal or Chelsea, I forget which team. It's definitely one of those two, where the whole 11 players were not English. Would you think now you wouldn't even notice that, would you?
No.
That wouldn't be registered on your radar. You think, hang on a minute, we haven't got any English players playing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But like those things, games getting moved abroad. We're seeing that, don't we? And
the NFL,
we can't have that.
NFL has loads of games abroad. There's multiple games at Wembley every season.
Yeah.
Like the La Liga are looking at doing the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to happen eventually. I don't know if it'll happen in the Premier League, and I hope it doesn't. But like you said, who knows whether United will end up having a stadium or a base in another country that they play at, 3 or 4 times a season. All these things are on the table.
It saddens me a bit, because I get, listen, I understand taking football and letting people go to the game and seeing all that, but I'm a big believer that United should have a stadium in Manchester.
Yeah, that can't
Manchester
change.
United,
that can't be
all our games are competitive games. home games should be in that stadium.
Yeah.
And listen, we all go on pre-season, and I love it. When we're in Thailand, Australia, America a couple of times, the fans there are mad passionate. We've been to Norway, Scandinavia, the fans there are lunatics, and I say that with all due respect. They are absolutely insane and would, beat any United fan in the Pepsi Challenge when it came to how passionate they are. But ultimately, Manchester United, I think, should play it at Old Trafford.
And it should do. And it's nothing to do with
yeah.
disrespecting or not respecting fans from around the world. No. They support Man United knowing that it's a Manchester team.
Yeah.
That's just what football is. It's representative of the area that the team is from.
Yeah.
And obviously it grows and gets bigger and gets wider as the years go on, and the internet has helped massively with that, and the likes of Sky have helped massively with broadening like what football is and where you can view it from. But if I want to watch Real Madrid, I should expect the only place to watch Real Madrid play a home game is in Madrid. Yeah. And I don't think anyone would assume or expect anything other. That's part of why you support them, part of, the stadium and everything.
Years from now, even the team will just be AI.
That's how we've completely fucking lost it, innit? I told you, my mate once, when we were at college, I'd never really seen anyone.
A little bit of waffle, by the way. Good knowledge. I'm going to read out your chat comment in a minute. Go on.
I'd never really seen anyone get into gambling before because I was like 16.
Right.
None of my mates really had it. You couldn't quite have it on your phone then the way you could. And I met a lad at college who was the first person I knew who was like into gambling.
Yeah.
And the moment I knew he had a bit of an issue when he wasn't just betting on the horse racing. Between the horse racing, he was betting on digital cockroach racing. So it's not even not only is it the most low life animal on the planet.
Why not just have digital horse racing? Why digital cockroach
he's literally
racing?
Betting on a digital, just predetermined AI cockroach, the worst animal on the planet, and he's between horse racing. He's betting on that.
That's bad.
So that's how you know it's bad.
It is bad
if you catch me watching a digital AI Man United, you know I'm finished. I'm done.
We've had loads of good comments, by the way. A little bit of waffle says Cyril Regis, Brendan Batson, and Remy Moses, the three black players that played for West Bromwich Albion. Jed's dead, baby. It says Google has new AR augmented reality glasses that look like a pair of thick rimmed glasses, but the battery power is shit. What about that thing in your brain that Uncle Elon's doing? Yeah, is that a thing that could take
I think it has helped a couple of people.
Would you do that?
Not remotely as it stands now.
No. What if you said I'll give you 100 grand?
But what I think at the minute is helping people with like profound disabilities.
All right,
it's not being used just to like go on MSN.
Do you ever watch Black Mirror and think like, yeah, that could happen? That.
Yeah, probably some of that will happen.
I watch it all. Well, I don't watch it all the time, but when I've watched it, I thought, yeah, I can see that becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Like
because things catch on in weird ways, don't they? Like I could see a world where the Neuralink thing happens.
Yeah.
And especially if people start being able to like access information through it.
Yeah.
And whatever you think of, your brain basically sort of Googles it for you and tells you the answer in real time.
Yeah.
Because then you just have essentially unlimited knowledge with no interface like slowdown. Because at the minute, getting information through tapping your thumbs on a screen, sending the question, having to get the question right first of all.
Yeah.
Because if you Google the wrong thing, you're not getting the right answer.
Yeah.
So you have to think what to write, get your phone out, unlock it, go on the Safari, type it in, then look at the responses and pick which one's right and pass through all that and then read it and then learn it. If that can all be replaced by thinking it, then there's going to be massive advancements there. I could see why that would be beneficial. I might be up for that.
Yeah.
Because there's literally no slowdown between wanting to know something and knowing it. That's pretty massive, that.
That would fully kill the pub quiz machine, wouldn't it?
Fucked.
Yeah. There's no that. They're just printing money, aren't they, for you?
Yeah.
Like, you're just winning every time you go up there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That'd be...
Joe McGraw's pub quiz on a Wednesday night.
Oh,
absolute disaster. Absolutely. I mean, it is anyway, because he's running it. But imagine everyone knew every answer immediately. Although Joe's got one of those pub quizzes, do you know, where no computer in the world could get these answers right?
Yeah.
It's stuff like, what am I thinking? It's like, it's not general knowledge. The rounds are stuff like, what do you see?
Is this the one where you use your phone to answer?
Yeah, I think so.
I went one with my mum, dad, and our kid a few years ago, and it was one of those where you press like the answer begins with A or whatever.
I hate these.
And I hate it because they'd have rounds where it's like, and the next round the winner gets everyone's points.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, yeah, just making it silly.
Yeah,
And
like-
the final round, 10 times the points.
Yeah.
Oh, so rounds 1 to 9 meant
Just
nothing.
like,
then.
what was the point in that?
What was the point?
You're getting excited because
Yeah.
you've won when it didn't mean anything at all. Because now, just guessing,
Yeah.
the quickest one, and you just guess and you've got it right, you get 1,000,000 points and you win the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Silly rounds.
yeah, I'm not
I hate
into
all
that.
stuff.
I hate that at Christmas, you know, and,
Yeah.
and like playing games where people think, oh, it doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
rules. Well, the rules do matter, without the fucking point.
Yeah, otherwise, why have we chosen to do this over not doing this?
Yeah.
We don't have to play a shit game.
No.
Or I can just do nothing. I can
Yeah.
sit on Instagram and have more fun than you going, oh, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Well, no, it's not really,
the
is
fact
it?
you're so
Watching
like
a
me on this.
4-year-old just say the word scone and win all the points.
Yeah, no.
Because it's the final answer is, what's Devon's favourite food? I'm not having it. I'm sat here, I know the Galapagos Islands are where, something happened. And it's taken me 30 years to accrue this general knowledge. I'm broad and I'm shallow in what I know. I know very little about a lot, which is good for general knowledge quizzes. I don't know any detail. But if you say the Battle of Bosworth, I'll say to you the Plantagenets, and then I'll get the points.
When we used to do quizzes at Christmas, my sister-in-law, her fella, he used to get levered.
Yeah.
So when we do Trivial Pursuit, I'd make up questions. So I'd say things like, music round. Beethoven had several critics. Can you name 5 of them?
Yeah. Cromwell.
He'd be like, Beethoven had several critics. Can I name 5 of them? Nah. Just nonsense like that.
It's
Just
impossible
ridiculously hard question, but you'd never get on to the
And
fact
do you know
that I
what
was
I hate
making
as well?
these questions up.
What I hate in quizzes is when it's guess the year,
Yeah.
but they're all next to each other and no one could possibly know the right answer. So it'll be like, what year was, I don't even know, like
Richard Nixon's
daughter
brother's-
born.
Yeah.
And was it 1961, 62, 63? Like, we're all just guessing. You just might as well just play toss the coin. What's the fucking point in this? No one knows. Like, to the nearest million, I'm out. I don't want to the nearest million. How many years ago was T-Rex started? Not the band, the animal. It's like, 68 million. No, it's the Cretaceous era. Give me something that we could actually feasibly know.
Yeah.
Sick of all that.
Saying, last New Year's Eve, I lost my shit with these. Like, it's almost right. Well, it's not right though, is it?
it's not, is it?
Almost right isn't right.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just give away points just because someone almost got it right.
Sick
like,
of it.
we sing at Maradona. Yeah, it's almost Madonna.
it's almost Madonna.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No, it's a completely different person. You're not having the fucking points.
No.
And it'd be me that looks like the killjoy.
The bad guy.
Yeah. Abhinav Verma says, here's a nice pub quiz question. Who said the iconic line, it's a super chat, you got to do that? Nice. That's a good question, that. Claude, may he rest in peace. Absolute legend.
Who said the iconic line?
Ashu says, Brendan Batson. Oh, you know what? It wasn't, I think the 3 degrees originally was Laurie Cunningham. Ashu says, Brendan Batson, or Baston, I think it was Batson. Laurie Cunningham and Sir Regis. United 3, West Bromwich 5 in the snow. What a game. Cunningham played for United for a short time and died in a car crash in Spain. I think he did.
Yeah.
Played for Real Madrid, Laurie Cunningham. Real Madrid fans still adore him.
Really?
He was like one of their, like a proper cult hero there. Cool. Before we wrap up, I mean, we've pretty much covered United anyway.
That's gone quick.
I know, man. We've had a good 40 minutes out of
Have we?
Yeah, I think so. What time did we kick off? We didn't start at 4, did we?
No.
10 past, so we've had 30 minutes. We're not done yet.
Oh, good.
Sam Baldwin says, Mr. Spock is half Vulcan and half human.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Good stuff there. What was the topic of this piece?
Christmas and that.
Christmas and that.
How shit we are.
I want you to start saying and that. I want you to start saying scran and then that.
Scran is one that I can't take that step.
Why?
Because when I see people who aren't from a scran-wielding town,
Yeah.
like your Manchesters,
Yeah.
and they move to Manchester or they move to a place where they say, and they start saying scran, because I feel like the popularity of the word scran has exploded in the last 10 years.
Right.
People will say scran from places who've never said scran before, but I just think it's not mine.
Right.
I didn't grow up on it. I can't be saying it.
It was like when the Gallagher brothers came about. Like, everyone started saying arcade, who weren't from Manchester.
Yeah.
Like, because they used to say it quite a lot in interviews, because they'd always be referring to each other. Like, our kids wrote this song or whatever. And it was like, all of a sudden, everyone was saying arcade. Like, and people were saying it when it didn't even mean your brother or sister. They'd be saying like, aye arcade, yeah arcade, mad for that arcade.
Yeah.
I'm like, no one would say mad for in Manchester. That was just nonsense. So yeah, I hear that. What? So Scran, not for you.
It's off the table, I'm afraid.
What about and that?
And that I quite like, because that's like a thing, isn't it? But it is quite mank. I think I first heard that with like Carl Pilkington on podcasts and stuff.
Because I never noticed it.
He used to say that.
You say, what a good one for you, because you always flag it up, and I never noticed it. Seeing his ass.
Yeah, seeing his ass is a good one.
Yeah.
I like what's the other one? The piss one that you do. There's the mank piss one. Boiling piss.
Oh yeah, he's boiling.
Yeah, that's boiled some piss. That's annoyed everyone. Like, I'd never heard that until I moved to Manchester.
Remster Music says Scran is a Jamaican word.
Is it? I didn't know that. Where does it come from? Like, what does it? What is it based on?
Let's have it. Should we ask Grok?
Sure.
Why not?
This is technology in 2025, isn't it?
Where does the word? The only trouble with technology is me having to use it.
Yes.
Because
I am. That's what we were talking about before.
Right. Where does the word scran come from? And Grok says, has its origins in Scotland and Northern England, where it's historically been used as slang for food, particularly cheap, tasty and filling grub. The term has been in use since at least the earliest, that's not a word, 18th century, but its meaning has evolved over time. Initially, in the 18th century, scran was slang for a tavern bill or a reckoning at a boozing ken. By the early 19th century, the word shifted in meaning to refer more specifically to food, often scraps or leftovers, and it's used for like sailors.
So no mention of Jamaica there then?
No, not according to my
Although to be fair,
research.
You know, knowing Elon Musk's
no, he's probably eradicated the Jamaican influence. He's like, we can't be giving credit to non-white people.
Yeah, if that shows up again, let me know.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Community know it.
Yeah.
United.
Yeah.
What was the thing?
What?
What was the topic?
Just how bad we are over Christmas.
Oh, mate. Do you worry?
I can more
how bad
year
do you think
by
it could
year.
get?
I see more how it took Liverpool 30 years to win a title.
Yeah.
That looks less and less ridiculous.
Oh, me and Ethan were saying this, right, this morning after news. My genuine concern, right, and I'm being serious.
Why have you got a smile on your face?
Because he's making, I've just clocked him and he's smiling. And I'm being serious now. And hear me out. This isn't me trying to be melodramatic. My genuine concern is I have seen us win our last title. Mm-hmm. I never see it happen again. Now, you may laugh at that, but let's face facts, right?
Well, let's reverse engineer this. How long have you got left?
35, 40 years. What are you like that for? I'll go running.
Exactly.
I'm not drunk for weeks.
That's true. If you play your cards very right, 45 years.
Yeah, I can do 89.
Yeah.
I can get there.
Yeah.
And maybe even beyond.
No.
What do you mean no?
Well, let's not push it.
All right. But you never know.
No, of course.
Be one of those lucky ones.
A decagenarian.
Yeah. Or even beyond.
200. What do you mean? You'd have lived to 200?
Never say never.
Like one of those old sharks.
You know what I mean? People used to live to like they were 30, and now look at us.
Yeah, they did, but that was a lot of child deaths. That's why the people in medieval times would still occasionally live to 90.
Right, okay.
Well,
if they were living to 90 in like the medieval
Not
era.
often, but they could. The reason the average life expectancy was so low is because like 50% of people died at birth.
Right.
And a lot of people didn't make it until the age of like 10. If you got to puberty, you'd probably get another few years.
If you get big dog,
get to 50.
Yeah, you just keep replacing things. Do you know what I mean?
Like a car.
Yeah.
Like a vintage Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. Like, just keep, got a new set of lungs, new heart and that. Keep going.
Mm.
So it's like...
New
you never
skin.
know. Yeah,
that's all rotten off now because you threw years
No,
old.
okay, fair enough. 89, I'd settle for that. If someone offered me that now, on like a casino, I'll give you 89, stick or twist, stick.
I'd take that.
Right, so that's 45 years for me.
Yep.
Right? Liverpool went 30 years without a title. They went from dominating English football to not winning a title for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? United went from dominating English football to not winning a title for 26 years. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Newcastle, because Ethan was talking about, haven't won a title since the 50s.
Yeah.
And they were big in the game back in the 50s. Sheffield Wednesday were
in the 40s.
Balling, and they hadn't done it for Preston were the dominant team in England, and they haven't won it for over 130 years. It can happen. United could go 50 years without a title. And I ain't got that in me.
That would be so
And also,
bad.
like,
I don't think it'll.
I'm not going to be like, don't be too melancholy, but I might live to 74. It might be another 30 years. Like, it could be 32 years before we win a title.
That's doable.
Do you know what I
isn't it?
mean? Like, it's.
What can we do?
Like, I don't know. I'm genuinely worried as well. Like, the thing that's kept us going as United fans, and I think has made us, even our banter era, has been better than 99% of clubs' golden era, because we've still finished second twice post-Fergie. We've still won a European trophy. We've still won 2 FA Cups, still won 2 League Cups. We've still been in the Champions League. We've still got to 2 quarterfinals in the Champions League. Yes, that isn't good enough for Manchester United, but compared to the vast majority of football clubs, that's mint.
Everyone in the Football League, except Chelsea, City, Liverpool and Leicester, would swap it.
Yeah, 100%. Like
that's mental, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
If you support any team that isn't those or Man United, you would swap our decade for your decade.
100%. Like, you'd look at it and go, well, that's just better than the time we've had. That's probably better than any 10-year, 11-year period we've ever had in our history.
Yeah.
Right? So United have always been, even in this old... But one of the things that's kept us going is because we're so big and because we've got so many fans, because we generate so much revenue, we've been able to spend when we needed to. So we've been able to buy the Paul Labiel Pogbas of this world, the Lukakus, the Matiches, the Maguires. And even if we get a lot of them wrong, we still keep going and going, right, who's the best new...
Try Ronaldo, let's try Zlatan.
Yeah, let's try Di Maria, let's try Memphis, let's keep going. And so you get to a certain level where even if you're not challenging for titles, you're still good enough because you've got Juan Mata in your team and you've got Matic and you've got whoever else, you've got De Gea, that you can win an FA Cup, right? That's kind of getting took off the table now with PSR. A little bit, where it's not like, well, we don't care about the fact that, you've got, because you're already in a load of debt anyway. You've spent loads of money over last year that you've wasted. So you're not in a position where we can just go, we're now in this thing where we've got to sell to buy, which levels the playing field a little bit, doesn't it? So all of a sudden, you're on a similar footing to Spurs and Villa.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting it right, managerial, and I don't even think the managers having the final say in transfers, or certainly not the only say on transfers. If you're not getting it right, sorry, I know that's rustling.
Sorry.
Then there's a world in which Manchester United just struggle or don't quite get to where we need to be.
Surely within the next 5 to 10 years, we'll do enough things right. Like hiring the people that we've hired. I know Ashworth's already gone, but people like Wilcox and Barada and Brailsford and Blanc, they've all overseen successful sporting ventures.
Right, well, here's
that's something different to what we had been doing.
2 points on that, right? One, someone told me this, and get involved in the chat and comments, let me know if it's true. Brailsford was part of Team Sky.
Yeah.
And had success. But then when Ineos took over Team Sky, the success went downhill.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not... I know you're saying individuals rather than, but Ineos themselves haven't been synonymous with that success.
Yeah.
Nice hasn't been a success story. And also, whilst some of these people have had success in sport, how many of them have actually had success at a football club?
Wilcox and Barada have.
Fair enough.
And Jean-Claude Blanc has. Yeah. But Ratcliffe and Brailsford haven't.
No. So, and also, yeah, you're right. Barada, I'm glad we got him. Wilcox, I'm glad we got him. But they were part of a machine that was quite well run.
Yeah.
And was, and also had good managers. And a very good manager. Well, I think for Barada's entire time there, it was Pep. So he had the best manager on the planet. So I'm not saying Ineos can't have success. I'm not saying that, but I do worry. Because it is feasible to me that we don't. Because I think you've got the biggest thing that worries me with Ineos is you've got this pretty bad perfect storm, if that makes any sense. You've got a 72-year-old who's determined to get Manchester United winning trophies and to the top. But he's 72. He's not, if I've only got 45 years, he's probably got 20, right? So you can't be dead patient. He's going to want to see that happen in his lifetime. He's going to want to see Manchester United win the Premier League. He's going to want to see, when Jack Walker took over at Blackburn, he wanted to see Blackburn win the first title since the 20s or whatever. And he did it because he spent a fortune doing it. So they bought the likes of Tim Sherwood and Mike Newell, and not Mike Newell, Jason Wilcox and Alan Shearer and David Batty and all these players and Tim Flowers that they never would have been able to get if it wasn't for Jack Walker pouring in basically loads of money.
Yeah.
And then he got that title and the wheels came off and it all went wrong. But he did what he needed to do. Abramovich went to Chelsea, spent loads of money. Ratcliffe can't quite do that because you can't just go in and I don't even know he can physically anyway, but you can't go in and just spend like $1 billion like Abramovich did or whatever. What he can do though is he can keep changing things. He can keep chopping and changing the manager if it doesn't work. And that's what worries me is he going to have the patience? Because me and you always say like, hammer him, give him time, boom, boom. But we've already seen this like trigger happy attitude, haven't we, with Ashworth? Where it was like, okay, you gave him 4 or 5 months, you were underwhelmed and you decided, right, this isn't working out. But really? Like, that's slightly concerning. I understand it and I like the idea of you admit you made a mistake and you go, look, we dropped one there. But it is a bit concerning that we've waited for him, spent a load of dough to get him, and then 3 months in went, nah, you've got to do all
And we
this.
can't keep having those mistakes. You can't keep making big decisions and getting them wrong.
Yeah.
Like spending the money we did on Ten Hag's transfers only to sack him 16 weeks later or whatever it was, or less. That you can't keep doing that. You can't keep getting a new director of football and sacking him after 5 months and managers and stuff like that.
And this is a good point what Sam Notch makes. And I've spoke about this before. People forget, before Sir Alex, United had only won 7 league titles in 90 odd years. Yeah. Manchester United, right, would be a normal club. Would be any club, right, if it wasn't for the fact we've had the 2 greatest managers of all time. Yeah. Yeah? Matt Busby, who in the 40s reinvented football management, a tracksuit manager, where you used to have managers who sat in the office smoking, just not getting involved. I know he smokes a pipe, but he was on the he was on the training ground, believing in the academy, would promote from within, all this, and people were like, what are you doing? And it was like revolutionised football, led the way. One of the greatest managers, lost his team, rebuilt, won a European Cup within 10 years. Just unbelievable. Yeah, to do that. To build the greatest team in the world, lose it and then rebuild it.
I think it's incredible when you think like
unreal.
Like the last 10 years that we've had, and obviously have had nothing the likes of Munich, and yet we are nowhere near being able to build a side that's capable of challenging to get in the European Cup, let alone winning it.
And he
did it from that.
Yeah,
the more I see United struggling, the more impressive that becomes from a managerial perspective. It's phenomenal. Unthinkable, really.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, unthinkable.
It is.
And to do it with so many youngsters through the academy as well. I know he did buy like Dennis Law or whatever, but so you've had Busby, a genuine contender for the greatest manager of all time.
Yeah.
Like everything considered. You then have McGuinness, Franco Farrell, Dave Sexton, Tommy Dockey, Ron Atkinson, who, flat to deceive, being brutally honest, a couple of FA Cups and under Atkinson, one under Dockey, but they don't achieve what they should do. Then you have Fergie. The greatest manager of all time, probably. Yeah. Like, if we're being honest. Like, probably just above Busby. Wins 13 titles, 2 Champions League, dominates football for 20 years. Just unbelievable. Yeah. No one saw that. No one really saw that coming. Knocks Liverpool off the perch, even though they're probably going to get back on it in about 3 months' time. Like, just no one can believe what's gone on here. Yeah. So you've got these 2 absolute giants, 2 of the greatest managers of all time, who have both ended up at Manchester United. Now, other than those, you've had just normality almost. And that's what worries me.
We've just been Sheffield Wednesday or a Newcastle or a one of them, haven't we? Without obviously not most teams don't have 12 world-class managers either. No. So it's it's 2. It really is 2.
Yeah, like if you look at the Scousers, if they win the title in the slot, which they're going to, just resign yourself to that fact. They're going to win the title, right? Yeah. I've come at terms with it. I hate it and it knocks me sick, but I've accepted it, right? Yeah. They'll have won the title in the slot, Klopp, Dalglish, Paisley, Shankly. 5 managers at least. Maybe more. Maybe I'm missing a Joe Fagan. Forgive me if I'm getting it wrong. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I don't give a shit. Yeah. But at least 5 managers that I can think of, right?
In the last post-war at least.
Yeah, post-Second World War. There might be ones in the 1900s that I don't know about, right? Then you look at other clubs that have had success. Arsenal have had success, right?
They were big in the turn of the century.
Herbert Chapman was their first dude.
Yeah.
Then you had, was it Frank McClintock? Not Frank McClintock. Who was it? Who I can't remember the one who ever won it in the 70s.
Yeah.
Then you had George Graham won it.
Yeah.
Then you had Wenger, obviously.
Yeah.
They've had a smattering of managers.
Yeah.
No, none of them as good as Fergie or Busby, but good managers who've won a couple of titles or 3 titles or whatever.
Yeah.
You look at other clubs who you could argue, Everton had Kendall, they've had other managers, they've won a few titles.
Chelsea
won titles.
They've
Chelsea.
spread theirs over like 5 managers.
Yeah, Chelsea won it in 55 and then didn't win it again until 2005.
Yeah.
They had literally a 50-year gap between their 2 titles, I think. Like, that can happen.
Yeah.
And, we're in this situation where now, because we and you are old enough, you're just about old enough, I'm certainly old enough, to remember the glory years under Fergie. We have this sort of, expectation. We're still a big club. We're still the biggest club in England. We still, have this sort of stature where you go, right, we should be challenging for titles. We should be winning. But it can happen, man. It can.
Yeah.
This is why it worries me a lot with what I see with Ineos, because we've just absolutely stacked it with the likes of Woodward and Mercer and Arnold. It was just such a wasted decade.
Such a disaster of a time, really, wasn't it? Like, you think of the amount of successful signings we had.
Yeah.
With sort of Ed Woodward at the helm.
Yeah.
You're literally looking at like Bruno, maybe Juan Mata, but I think he wasn't worth them. He wasn't. He didn't live up to the expectations of when we signed him. Zlatan probably was worth it. Like, is that it?
Yeah.
Like, how many transfers have we had under Woodward that we go, great transfer? Bruno's
Honestly,
the only one.
No, I think Woodward was the worst thing. Like, he's just terrible. I'll name this podcast later. Says as gifted 5 Stretford Paddock membership. Sorry, I think him as a person, with what he did, we helped the Glazers get the club.
Yeah.
And then they gave him this responsibility. And then him being succeeded, I think Mercer had a lot of responsibility. Yeah. Arnold's come in. I just think that these
in terms of single people, he's one of the more damaging people that's ever worked for Man United.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
He's hurt us so badly. Yeah. I think, like you said, getting
Ross
the Glazers
Murphy
in the first place.
Yeah, was a banker, not a football man. Now at least we've got football people in.
Yeah, there you go.
And Barada, I'd say on board your point. You look at what he did at City. Wilcox, I get good vibes from Wilcox.
Yeah.
I do. I get the impression that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'm not an expert on him. I've said hello to him once, but I think he's someone who he's not here messing about. No. Do you know what I mean?
And everything you hear of reports and how he speaks and stuff, he feels like he's an intelligent bloke who knows what he's doing, or at least has an idea of what he's doing.
This is a good one. Stephen Rue says, "Yous are the second biggest club in Manchester, never mind the world." He's done a world symbol. He's done U's as U-S-E.
Brilliant.
James Hunsinger says, "I love Dander, but I think we're quickly finding that Ugarte is a big step up on what Ander was." Galvatron Cartman says, "Let's face it, we need to get rid of 10+ players or Amorim, or no manager will be able to rebuild to be successful." Glenn F says, "I think Tom Eaton has to play for us to not go down." Yeah.
I honestly, and no offence, I actually forgot he was still at the club.
I like Tom Eaton.
Yeah, I like him as well. He's a good bloke, but I genuinely forgot he was not.
Yeah. One quick question: thoughts on Dani Olmo leaving Barca in Jan on a free?
They always find a way to register.
Why can't we do what they do?
I know.
Barcelona have a disastrous season and win La Liga. Yeah. You're like, what? Real Madrid have the worst season they've ever had and win the European Cup. Yeah. You're like, what? Like, they have this chaos and it's like, oh, the team's shit, we've got no dough. Hang on a minute, we've just pulled 8 levers, now we've got 700 million quid to spend and we've just gone and got a load of players who are absolutely mint.
And do you know Real Madrid as well?
What?
They don't spend that much more than us.
No.
It's not like they're like, we spend 600 million every 10 years or every 5 years and they spend $1 billion. We literally spend the same as Real Madrid do. Except we just buy the wrong players all the time.
They had that horrible window, didn't they?
Yeah.
When they got in Hazard and who else was it? Kovac was it?
Yeah.
Not Kovac, bloody...
They got Mendy, they got Hazard. Yeah. Mendy took a long time to come through. Hazard, it was the striker from Frankfurt.
Was it Jovic?
Yeah, Jovic.
Jovic, sorry.
There's a couple more they got that year as well, and they spent about 300 million, and really only Mendy was even half a success from that list. But other than that, They spent like 100 million on Tchouaméni, but that looks like it was worth it now. They spent 100 million on Bellingham. That was worth it. They spent no money, but probably close to 100 million or so on Mbappe.
This was the transfer window you're on about. So they brought in Eden Hazard for 115 million euros. Militao 50 million. That was a decent one.
He's been alright,
yeah. Jovic for 60 million euros.
Yeah.
Mendy, as you mentioned, 48 million. Rodrigo for 45 million.
Yeah, but again, even that, like, it's a bad window. They've got Militao and Rodrigo out of it, and Mendy's still half decent.
That is true, to be fair.
It's mental.
It's mad that they wasted probably about 180 million quid in that window, but still managed to get 3 Champions League winners out of it.
Yeah.
Who went on to win multiple Champions League.
And they'll just like, yeah, Bellingham, done.
Yeah.
And I know people like to diss Bellingham. He's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
He is brilliant. Like, people want to say, oh, he's better than he thinks he is, and he's always looking for the cameras and all that. He's a great footballer.
No, he is.
Like, you can't say he's not.
He reminds me a little bit of Pogba at Juve. I know they're not similar, but that player of being a mint player in a mint team, and people can just sort of dismiss him.
Yeah.
And if you watch Pogba when he was at Juve, there's a reason United spent 89 million.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was mint, and you're like, wow. Actually, every time he gets on the ball, he does something good with it.
Yeah.
I just don't think the system at England it's not getting the best out of him, or it's not working with him and Foden. Something needs to change, and we need Thomas Tuchel to come in and just drop them both. Yeah. Because that's the sort of thing he'd do.
Something silly.
He would, wouldn't he? It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that.
What's your plans for New Year's Eve?
Quiet one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love a bit of quiet time on New Year's Eve. Just family thing.
Yeah.
Get the board games out. I don't know. Sometimes I meet up with her sister and her kids, whatever, or her kid and her stepson. But I don't know. Probably just the children at home. What about you?
Matt, I think we're going to go for an Indian.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
It's just you and your missus, or?
Lizzie.
All right, where around here, or?
Probably just in Stockport.
Oh yeah, you're part of SK Mafia now, aren't you? That's all right. What would you be home then after that for New Year?
Yeah, well, I wanted to go out.
Do you stay out?
But I have I get quite stressed around. Do you know the pressure of New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
I get sort of old anxiety, as I like to call it, where like around that midnight piece, I get weird.
Really?
Like I don't know what it is.
I thought you were messing about because you just wanted to say that pun.
No, I actually do get old anxiety.
Right.
But like I don't know why, but I want it to be really good because it's a big thing.
Yeah.
But New Year's Eve is never good.
Right.
So I'm trapped in this thing of like wanting to be great, but knowing it can't be.
Yeah.
And I start panicking and I hate it.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know what we'll do. Probably just have an argument.
Oh really? That's bad. That. Yeah. What did he probably say? What?
Just have an argument and go to bed. Something like that. Something nice. Treat ourselves to an argument and a bed.
Right. I like, because New Year's Eve used to be a big deal when you used to go out and that. And I've had some absolute messes on New Year's Eve, but like now I'm happy just chilling with the kids.
Do you always make it to midnight?
Yeah. Usually, I can't recall ever, like since I stopped drinking, not making midnight. And like the kids are all giddy because you just get to stay up late, and then you wait for the fireworks and all that, and it's like
I'd like to go down and see the fireworks one day.
You know what, my missus always says that, but I don't know. I think it'd be chaos.
Yeah,
I think it'd be absolute carnage down there. Do you know what I mean? Like just mad expensive. You can't move anywhere.
Fireworks landing in
fireworks
your
everywhere. You like that? Like you can't move. You can't get a taxi or get a drive anywhere. You're just stuck. Transport is done. Like I just think it might just be.
You never get in a taxi after that.
No, like you just stuck there, aren't you? So I don't know actually. I don't know. Ethan, what are you doing here?
Just in Manchester and that.
Just in Manchester and that. See, he's embraced the in that. Thank you for that, Eve. Appreciate you joining in. Thank you to you as well, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and comments. Stephen Howson will be back. I don't know when he'll be back to normal.
Well, we've still got another few days of it not being normal, haven't we? Because United play on Monday night, which I know can happen any time of the year, but you know. So we've got that. Then we play at the weekend. Then it's all sorted. So New Year's Day is next Wednesday. After that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think you're all good by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, no, is New Year's Eve next Wednesday? It's Tuesday now.
New Year's Day, I said.
If
I didn't, I meant to say New Year's Day.
No, sorry, forgive me.
New Year's Day is Wednesday.
Right, okay. New Year's Day is Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's a bank holiday, is it?
Maybe Google a bit of this.
Yeah.
I think it must be. Surely it's bank holiday.
Are we doing Paddock Live then on Wednesday? Or are we off?
No, we're off.
Oh,
so that's what I mean. So it starts from Thursday onwards, everything's back to normal.
So we're in Are you in on Monday
Yeah.
for the watch along?
Yeah.
Right, because I'm at the game. So
Yeah.
you're in Monday, I'm in Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're off Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then we're back in Thursday.
Something like that.
Right.
I can't remember.
Listen, we are going to be about. Yeah. Don't worry. If
There's gonna be
anything
videos
big
coming
happens,
out every day, don't
yeah,
worry.
we're going to have news. We're going to have like videos. We're going to have previews, watch along, reaction. It's not, you're not
All
going
the
to go on
stuff you come
Stretford
to
Paddock and go,
expect.
what the lads doing, why are they not about?
No.
We're all about.
It's all right.
You've got a video coming out this weekend, haven't you?
Yeah,
Is it
looking
Monday?
at why United can't score any goals.
Jesus, is it 7 hours?
Yeah.
There's a host of reasons. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Also, we'll have the preview for the Newcastle game. Can't wait for that one. And one or two other bits and pieces. So make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Go and check him out as well on Sloppy Joe's if you've not got enough of Joe Smith and Ethan, of course. I've been Jay. That's been Joe. This has been The Brew. Thanks for watching.